I'm Jason Magner, transportation reporter with the Montreal Gazette. With cycling season upon us, I thought we should take a look at the 5 most dangerous spots for cycling in the city. Come along.
So here we are on St. Urbain at the corner of de Maisonneuve, and this yellow line on the pavement is where buses are supposed to stop. So as you get down to this area, it's really quite difficult to find a spot to be if there's a bus in the way. You're going to have to go into the lane reserved for cars. And now the issue that the cyclists have is that this concrete island is jutting right into the road. So you're squeezed right close to the cars. And as you make a right onto the sidewalk, this is the reserved lane for bikes, and it's also shared with pedestrians. There's no obvious place where there's no physical separation from pedestrians. Here we are on Saint Laurent at the corner of Belle Chasse, and this is a brand new path that the city built. The issue cyclists have is this turn right here. As you see, it's quite difficult for bikes to make. Bikes tend to take a much wider turn, so you have to take a very tight turn to get into this path. Once you get on here, it's nice and separated from bikes. Bikes are separated from pedestrians and from cars. And there's one lane. There's going to be one lane in each direction for bikes. Once the weather warms up, the city will paint the lanes here. But as you get up to the end, you're going to see that there's no obvious place for bikes to continue if they want to go north, which is the general inclination. If you're going through this area, you're going to try to go north or south, and there's no actual way to go north because there's no paint on the street. There's no obvious place for bikes to go. Here we are on Rachel. This is the end of the separated path, and here at Rachel, east of des Érables, there's no separation anymore from cars, and you see the bikes ahead of me, each one in different directions because they have to get around the parked cars that are here. There's just a few blocks here where there's no actual separation between cars and bikes, and cars are allowed to park here between November 15th and April 1st. Here we are on de Maisonneuve, right in front of the Vendôme metro station. See, the bike path here is going to end right before the metro station, and as the light turns green, you're going to see there's going to be no obvious place for bikes to go. Bikes have to get around the buses here that park to let their passengers off. And as they get around them, they're coming quite close to the cars, which is not such a safe distance, I guess. So as we get around here, you're going to see there's a whole bunch of parked cars. This bus is actually parked right on the bike path. Now we're going to get back onto the path, and the pavement is deteriorated quite a bit here. It's a very bumpy ride. The city is actually going to be removing some of these parked cars and have a temporary path at one point this spring. As we get right to the end here, there's another issue where the bike path ends once again, and there's 2 lanes reserved for cars and no obvious lane for bikes. So cars are turning right or left, and there's no actual place for bikes to go. Here we are on Saint Denis, and this is where Mathilde Blais died last year because she was on the road, and the roadway narrows quite a bit as you get to the bottom of the underpass here. So the city has told cyclists that they should use the sidewalk. It's a good idea in theory, but as you see, we're getting quite narrow here under the underpass, and there are pedestrians here that have to use the sidewalk as well. And as we get around this snowbank, we don't want to go on the snowbank, so we got to get quite close to the pedestrians here. It's not so easy, especially if there are more bikes and more pedestrians here. It's going to be quite tricky. So bikes choose to either get slalom around pedestrians, or they take their chances on the road.